and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. This is Becky with guest star Ron and Mia. We're all here to celebrate Becky's House of Sewing 1 year anniversary.
1 year, it's amazing. It's been 1 year.
And it's Becky After Dark.
So
lots to celebrate.
You guys need to have one with us, please.
Please do celebrate. What are we drinking, Ron? You brought the libations over.
Bullet Rye Whiskey.
My dad would be so proud.
He liked that?
Oh, he likes all the grains.
Oh, good.
He likes to drink his grains. So, here we are. Mwah, you're going down there. Ron, I understand you brought some whips.
Oh, yes, I did.
We're going to jump right into what Ron brought.
I'm glad
He brought
you asked.
goodies. I'm very excited.
Also, it's her husband's birthday. He's.
Oh, yes. Happy birthday, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Are you going to come over?
M.
He's in the background. You have to come around on the other side, Mike. You're not going to... Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. It's a Becky sandwich. Get in there. So, he is officially 52 years old.
52?
Yep, 1970, baby.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a long time.
So here we are. No fanfare. He doesn't like the fanfare. Me, on the other hand, you can do all the fanfare you want.
That's right. So I do have, and it is a work in progress as a whip, right?
Okay, yep.
And it's made out of the cherry burl that your husband gave to me.
Okay. My
So
husband gives
tobacco
all
pipe.
his stuff, all his leftovers to Ron.
Yeah, that's true. I could say something. Anyway, so
Feel free.
No, I better.
Just don't curse.
I won't. But yeah, this is made out of the cherry burl, and I put just the oil on it so you guys get an idea of what it looks
The
like.
camera's right here, so you can get kind of closer. No,
Okay.
you're doing good.
Okay.
So pretty.
And yeah, it's amazing the grain that's in this, but.
So how'd you get the plastic part to go in? Is that glued in?
It's actually just pressed in at the moment.
Pressed in.
But
Will it be glued?
Yes, it will be.
Okay.
And you can get filters you can put in these. I can make it where it's removable too if I want to. But this one seems
Is
to
this
fit a little
something you
better.
intend to use?
I do, or if somebody wants it, but it's
Are
mostly...
you a pipe smoker is my point?
Yes, tobacco pipe, yes, it's very nice. And actually, that's how I started woodworking. When I first started doing this was to actually,
Like
make a pipe.
That part right there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's so pretty.
And
Well done.
it's, yeah, I see it's got to make it a little smaller, sand it down a little further, but the hard part is getting the hole to match up with this. The hole down there, you got to, make it right.
Important to match up, I would assume.
Yes, it is. And
Very
also I
pretty.
got-
Ooh, what's this?
Now this was some of the leather work, and I hand stitched this. And it's kind of just
Hold on.
silly, but
let
actually
me, let me
use
show
it.
this.
Yeah, let her.
So you made this sheath
Yes.
to hold this. What
Yeah,
is
and
it?
you can use it like
Your
for a
scissors.
knife, just like cutting, trimming the roses. But it's actually wet form. Do you know what that means, Becky?
Well, I can guess what
You-
it means, but you tell me.
Okay, what you do is you take whatever the object is, wrap it in plastic so it won't
Rust.
rust or anything like that. So you can take it and put it in there, in the leather, and push it down on the leather and form it down onto it for about 8 to 10 hours.
While the
Till it
leather
dries.
is wet.
Yes, while the leather's wet.
So how do you soak the leather for how long first?
Actually, just soak it just enough to get it totally wet.
Till it's pliable,
Yes.
and then you
Yeah,
mold
and
it
just
to
mold-
whatever shape.
Mold it down on it. I had some little pieces of wood I pushed onto it. And
What'd
it
you
formed-
use to kind of keep it in place?
Actually, it formed itself. And
Really?
I put some. Actually, I put a little weight around it.
Around the
of it,
edges?
yes,
Yeah.
little weights. And then I.
It does fit like a
hand sewed it.
glove.
It does. And,
Like it was wet molded to it.
That's right. And what is the? Oh, it's called casing. When you wet form, soak the leather in water, it's called casing. And so what you can do is do that if you want it. Firms perfectly. Otherwise, you can just have it like that and just go put it in, but it works a lot easier.
So this does necessarily qualify for Becky's House of Sewing because it's
it's
all things
that's why I
thread and
brought it.
needle.
Yes, I did.
All things thread and needle. So he had to use the thread and needle. Now, do you use, what kind of needle do you use for these guys?
It's a big.
Is it a curved needle or
no,
is
it's
it a
actually
big straight needle?
It's straight, and it's quite a large, thick needle.
I would assume so. What is it, like number 8?
Actually, it is. That's pretty compared to what you use.
Which is a 28.
And then what you do is you stamp. They have little stamps of 2, 3,
Yeah, you punch the
4
hole
the
first.
holes first, yes. And you go through with an awl.
I
and
love
then
a
pull
good
this
awl.
right there.
It's a great tool.
It is. And so you actually hand stitch it, but it's called a saddle stitch where it goes double back and forth.
So I've seen some of them like on, there's some good restoration, on the BBC they have like a restoration place where they have like a lot of different woodworkers and stuffed animals and leather makers, and they've used double needles like when redoing saddles and stuff like that.
Yes, that's what you do. You actually have 2 needles. So you go through one side, the other, so it gets
and then tighten it up
yes,
and then go
yes.
through it again.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
But
So how long did that take you?
oh, this probably took me about 3 or 4 hours
Oh, nice.
because it's actually my first one.
Well, that's
So
not very
I
long.
had it for a while. Well, it seemed like a long time to me. I got tired fooling with it, so.
Well, that's very cool.
And then today, I spent the majority of my time
If you ask it, he will bring it.
is a clapper, a tailor's
Ladies,
clapper. And
Be jealous.
And she wanted a better one, so this
I wanted a heavier one. So
made
the
out
one
of
he
the
gave
cherry
me is
burl.
beautiful. It's so heavy.
And it's actually a very nice piece of wood.
And it's signed
This
by
time.
wood burning sign.
That's right.
Oh, I'm so excited. It is so nice. It is really hefty.
Yeah.
But look how pretty it is.
And I wanted them to see what it looks like. Like, you can't put oil on this because what happens is it would get off on the material that you're using. So
I think they seal some of them, the ones that I've
Do they?
seen woodworkers sell, but I don't know.
yeah,
I'm happy to have it
YouTube,
not.
they said not for me to put anything. I thought about putting wax on it. I thought, what it heats up, the wax gets on your.
Yeah, then it would get on
material, so.
my stuff. So look at you
But-
going to YouTube to find out how to do
I
it.
do everything. with
So
YouTube.
proud of him.
And also there was a lady. Do you remember her name? That wanted the crochet hooks and needles. All of a sudden I forgot her name. But she asked me on there, and I'll be glad to do that. I'm setting up a lathe right now.
Oh,
be
one
able
of
to
our
do that.
commenters?
Yes, they
Okay.
wanted me to make her some out of the cherry
Was
burl.
it Maureen?
I believe
or
yes.
Maureen Vines?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know Maureen Vines crocheted.
So
Hey, that's another stitcher that we mentioned. So if you're playing with the drinking game,
that's time to it's
time to drink up.
time to hit it.
And just for Connie's sake, I just want to say your name again, Ron.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
she would
Sometimes
like
I
to-
just like to say Ron, 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 Ron.
yeah, and then
See
that's
ya.
and see if I pass out in the next hour.
Okay, hush in the outfield there.
But this, if it was, you were able to put oil on it to show you how nice, nice
In
it looks.
comparison, look how pretty. Oh, did you
Yeah.
sign that one? Were you practicing?
I might have been.
It might have been.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that game. You got to practice.
So it's really a beautiful piece. And
I'm in love with this.
What's funny is,
This is gonna be a treasured piece. You know that, right?
oh good, I
It's
hope
treasured. It's treasured.
so. What's funny is this is the piece her husband, Mike,
Oh,
who's
lift
over
it up
there,
higher.
gave me, and I remember when he handed it to me, I thought he really doesn't like me much, because I thought, what is this? But one thing I found out about wood, I want to compare it to people. Have a little philosophy lesson here. is
Okay.
On the outside,
Yes.
it appears to be all crusty. Let's say it's tattooed, pierced, and who knows what. But it's not till you get on the inside that you see how beautiful it is. Because on the inside,
Aww.
it's that piece of wood, and that's where I got this piece of wood.
So
It's from
you
this.
can't judge a book by its cover.
You cannot.
That's another way to say it.
Yeah, and you can't judge the wood. In fact,
I like to think of it as crusty, and that we gave it to you
yeah, and that's.
until
I mean,
we
look at it.
peeled back the layers and found out he wasn't so crusty.
Yeah, once I got inside it, I thought, oh, I don't know how many times he's actually said, oh, I bet that's a beautiful piece of wood, and I said, doesn't look like it to me, but on the inside.
Now
it
you
is.
can start seeing Mike's vision.
Yeah. I know it's not. I don't know if that's good or not. But no, he's taught me more about wood and different kinds of wood because I cannot figure out sometimes what it is.
Well, that's cool. Everyone's got to have a hobby. And it is really cute to watch you both talk about it, even though it makes Connie and I kind of roll our eyes from time to time.
Of course.
It's enjoyable.
And something we did over the weekend, which Mike probably won't be thrilled that I was telling him this, but I went to a wood crafter show, not knowing it had anything to do with clean spore. I'm sure he'll find that familiar.
Clean sport.
Clean spore.
What is that?
Just look it up.
I went. He's going to be in the video now, isn't he?
I guess so.
Well,
What is clean spore?
Sandpaper, basically.
Oh, cool.
Well, it does all kinds of wood crafting. They actually make sandpaper. They've done it for over 100 years. The reason I know about it is because I went to a wood crafting show in Hickory. Well, I had no idea it had anything to do with. Mike had just talked to me the day before about it.
Mm-hmm.
We actually were going to Lincoln to have lunch, and we looked up this thing online, and we went over and saw this. So it was a show, and actually got a few different small little pieces of wood. But I started talking to those people there. Well, guess what happened to be on the show right next to it in this event center was a quilt show.
Shut up!
So
Did you
went
go?
Went to the quilt show.
Yay!
But I mean, I didn't pick up anything. I can't say I got any hauls, but I did get
Oh,
some
no, that's okay.
pieces of wood. But it was quite interesting how all that. And I thought, what a perfect place for Mike and Becky to be.
Yes, it would be
Wood
a perfect
show.
place. Quilt show.
Quilt show.
We would both like it.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go? What quilts did you see? Do you remember anything that you could?
I don't. There were
It's
some
okay.
nice ones.
There's some great ones. Were
There's
you
some nice-
impressed?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the people. That talent they have is just amazing.
Yes. Quilters are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I just realized, Ron, we kind of match. We're wearing the same color.
It's funny because my wife Connie. Now you take a drink.
Oh.
Sorry.
Let me help.
Yeah. She says, "Why are you wearing that shirt?" And I said, "I have a feeling Becky's going to wear the same shirt." She goes, "She didn't wear the same shirt. She's going to wear a plaid shirt." Oh, there we go. There it is.
Same color, not plaid.
That's right.
We gotta, make sure that we look different.
Thank you.
Different enough for them to recognize us.
That's right.
All right.
So have you done anything this
I
week?
have done some things. I worked on my pig. Let me see if I can straighten it up here. Ooh, I got some. Ooh, this is part of my haul. I can't wait, but I have to show you. So, I got new scissors. Do I need new scissors? No, but I got
You're
them.
always getting these scissors.
Yes, I'm glad you're picking that up.
They're so-
So, I left my Dovo scissors, which are a fancy brand, at my mom's house when I went to go visit on Sunday, because we had a little family get together. And I went to go look. Dovo's stopped making needlework scissors. They make hair cutting scissors and stuff like that. But there's one needlepoint store in Texas called the Silver Needle that had a special edition that they are still selling. So I went to go look on their website just to see if I could twist my arm to buy one. And on their scissor page, they had Dr. Slick's brand. Now this is Dr. Slick's. This is not on their website because this is the rainbow version. Dr. Slick's is actually a fly fisherman's lure making scissors.
I thought it was familiar. I used to tie my own flies. I used to.
Ladies and gentlemen, what has
Fly
Ron
fishing.
not done in life?
I
That's
know,
what
I
I
know.
want to know.
It's not many things. but
Not many things. So they had
that is amazing.
I went to look more about the brand on Amazon, and I saw these rainbow ones, and I couldn't resist. So this is an arrowhead. See how skinny that is? And then the point is razor sharp. It's a razor sharp blade, and it's also serrated. Now, Karen K. Buckley is a well-known, famous quilter, and she makes her own serrated scissors for quilting, which are great for applique because it obviously makes the threads kind of blend together so they don't fray as easily. When I couldn't resist these are $17, and feel how heavy they are. They're a nice
They're
weight.
very heavy.
They're a nice weight, but they're 3.5 inches, which is my favorite size. The Dovos are 4,
Right.
and they're nice big finger holes, so they're easy to use. Now the ones they sell on Silver Needle, and they're also on Amazon, but if you want one that is more for cottons and natural fibers, then I would support Silver Needle. But this is more for synthetics, but it works well for my cottons. And what the Silver Needle was saying, there's several threads that are metallics that obviously aren't as good on your scissors, but because these are designed for synthetics and metals, you can use these without any problem if you're using a lot of Krynic, which is one popular brand of metallic thread for embellishing.
There you go.
So I got them and was very, very happy. Now I have my RGB needle minder on this. But I was working on the pig in the fill-in because on Sunday I went to my other cross-stitching group. I joined in not too long ago in this group, and they're like Rock Hill area, South Carolina. And I brought this because I didn't need a chart while I was talking. Because you end up doing more talking than that. So let me show you. This is Stacy Nash's pig pin pillow. So it's got lots of spotted pigs. And today during stitching, I did this little guy here, and then I started making some of the bases of the flowers so I can start getting on the flowers, because I was a little bored with black at that point.
That's good. Is that what you're going to be doing then?
Yes, this is the finished picture. I will probably finish it as a flat fold instead of a pillow, but who knows. I just bought all that lizard litter, so I might need to make more pillows. This is the floss, and I bought this. I started this project in June when I started. I wanted to plan something that I could use on the airplane. My dog is kicking the stand, so sorry. Mia doesn't know what to do with herself. So these 3 are Gentle Arts, which are hand-dyed cotton. And then these 2 should also be Gentle dye. They're Simple Shaker, but they're the Gentle Arts company. These are 2 from my stash that kind of matched because I couldn't find the colors anywhere. They were not available. It's been a hard time finding.
They had a lot of that stuff that show.
Really?
You wouldn't believe all the stuff they had. I thought, boy, if Becky was here, she'd be buying all the stuff.
Well, yes, I will be. We're planning Wednesday Stitchers is planning a meetup on Sunday, and we're going to start at Black Hawk Hardware. Then we're going to eat at Velvet Taco. Then we're going to Stash Charlotte.
That sounds like fun.
There will be fun to be had. So I made this from scratch out of my head, no pattern. I wanted something to hold my English paper piecing, which I have some of it here, out of my nutmeg pattern. So I wanted something that would travel. So I had this in my stash. Sometimes I just like to sew without any meaning to. So this is just all scraps that I had. And then I made, on this side, I made a zippered pocket, which is where the pieces are. This batting part, so it could be like a little board. So I can lay out the pattern and the pieces. Look, and have some magnets there. And then on the bottom is a clear pocket with some of my goodies in it. Now everyone has said, what are those polka dots? Is that dip? It's not dip.
I was wondering what it was myself.
This is just a very cute tin that these sticky thimbles come in that I got also from Amazon.
Oh.
Because I wanted a little thimble. Here, you want to see? So these are
That's what's
little polka dots.
What do you use these for?
So they're stick-on thimbles. So you can stick that, and they're reusable. So you can push down on it. Do you want to take some home since you're using them for your leather? Would that be of service to you?
Sure.
Take it. It's the least I could do, sir. And you can, like I said, you can use the same one over and over again.
Oh.
till it becomes not sticky anymore, and then go to the next one. So then I didn't know how to wrap it up, so I had a fat quarter bundle from, let's see, it's not showing, Ruby Star Society, which is some pretty fabric that I like. Do you know what a fat quarter bundle is?
I do not.
Do you know what a fat quarter is? A fat quarter of material.
No, I don't.
So it's a 18 by 22 roughly piece of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
The yard of fabric is usually 42 inches by 36.
Oh.
Now sometimes depending on like if you're going for deco materials, sometimes that yardage is wider. Mia, stop getting into everything. But usually 36 obviously is just a yard.
Okay.
So a fat quarter is a common unit for quilters to buy.
Okay.
You can also do like a fat eighth, but I forget what that measurement is.
So it's just a large piece of
Well, it's an eighth of a yard. It's a little bit more than an eighth or a little bit more than a quarter of a yard because it's 18 by 22.
Right.
Get it? Get it? It's not a half yard. Mwah. I have to keep her up here to keep her out of trouble. Then I was sewing up a storm, Ron. Just sewing up a storm. And I was watching YouTube, my favorite thing. And on Sunday, the last Homely House is posts on Sundays. And this lady her name's Kate, and she's from England. And the last Homely House is a J.R.R. Tolkien quote from one of his books.
Oh.
But the scenery is very pretty. But she does all the things. I basically want to become her when I get older. And she was watching another lady on YouTube. And now I'm not going to remember her name. Something Rowley, Rowley. She's a Canadian quilter. And she had a scrap busting idea on making a quilt with all your scraps. And Kate did it, so then I wanted to do it. So it's basically a square and a square. That kind of block is a square inside a square. Okay. But you're keeping it kind of organic and just kind of using whatever you have and cutting it down to the size that you want to use. Kate was doing 3.5 inch squares. These are 4.5 inch squares because I had a 4.5 inch square ruler. So
Will you make a quilt out of it? Mm-hmm. Out of the squares?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. I made 6 of these in like an hour, maybe.
Oh.
So they're really addicting because you start chain piecing and then you don't know when to stop. And so chain piecing would be like, so to build this block, you take the center and you do the 2 end pieces and then you do the 2 side pieces. So you would sew 1 end piece on one block and then sew 1 end piece on the other block, like right here, and then you would get this piece freed up. You'd get this piece then freed up, and then you could add to this piece, and then you could do this piece. You know, and it's just like a never-ending cycle, and then you're not wasting as much thread by cutting each piece. You just keep it going. And then 1 turns into 6 because you can't stop.
How many does it take to make a quilt?
It depends how big you want to make. So, like a throw size is typically, what ladies start yelling at me? Like 40 to 50 inches by 60 inches. And then multiply that. The finished square, a 4.5 inch square will finish 4 inches because you use a 1/4 inch seam on each side. So, divide by 4. Then you get how many you need. So that is all for Becky's House of Sewing. So, Ron, what has this year of Becky's House of Sewing meant to you?
Well, considering you're my neighbor, I have to say something nice.
No, you don't.
It's been actually it's been very enjoyable. It's something we look forward to every Friday night until recently the slowdown in the
Wow. He's really harping on that. Do I need to go back to
no,
every week?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Can I do
every 2 weeks?
All right.
Every
all
2
right.
weeks.
Well, I mean, as a super fan, I want to keep you happy.
I know. I wait. It gives us all more time to do different projects,
Yeah.
maybe be able to show what you're doing. So no, I've really enjoyed it. Plus, you learn a lot of things that you didn't know before. When I sewed before, it was commercial type of stuff, so it was none of this real fine.
Have you bought a sewing machine yet?
I actually
I keep sending you.
I know,
good
and I
ones.
came very close to saying, Becky, what do you think of this one today? Because I realized my wife was at work, and I could get
What does that mean? She's real, legitimately your wife,
Oh,
not in quotes.
That's true.
I was at the wedding.
Oh, that's right, you were.
I was at the wedding. I'm a witness.
See what that last year is.
It's legal, people.
It's all legal. There's a rubber's ring to prove it. Not my Cracker Jacks ring. But no, yeah, I almost got one today. So it was a
What
singer
kind?
sewing machine.
A singer?
Yeah, it was from 1935 to 1939. I see a lot of those foot pedal, but I'm not doing that.
A treadle machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks nice. It's nice antique, but I wouldn't use it.
There's a lot of people that do, but it takes that's a whole another technique to learn.
Yeah, I just don't think I want to. But no, it's been getting me back into thinking about doing some sewing, and I've got into a couple other things, which I was hoping to have something extra for you to show you today that involves thread and material that I didn't want to bring up just yet, but
So is that like a little teaser for next
a
time?
teaser for next time.
You're gonna
yes,
come
it is.
next time?
Yes.
Do you want to come in 2 weeks, or do you need another 4 weeks? I'm putting you on the spot. I'm getting a commitment.
At least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks. Okay.
Because it's
We'll check in
something new.
next.
I've got all the apparatuses for it. So to speak.
Okay. Okay. Is it going to be hand sewn then, because you don't have a machine yet, or do you need to borrow a machine?
It'll have to be hand sewn. Well, I guess it's possible to have a machine, but I'm not to that level. But as far as the machine goes, I would like to get a machine.
Hmm.
Of course, the question is, where do I put it? As I have so much stuff. Of course, the comment might be like, well, are you going to be like Mike? Where are you going to put everything? So.
Well, who doesn't want to be like Mike? He's married to a great woman.
That's right. No, but I think I will get one. But it's been interesting just to, first of all, if any of you guys ever get a chance to go hang out with Mike and Becky, I mean, they are a lot of fun. Remember I showed you that piece of wood? And we're the same way. They are a blast to go out with. Go out to eat, have a drink
thank
with
you.
them, and you'll have them at your party. You'll be glad you
I
did.
don't think I'm that much fun anymore, but I appreciate the compliment.
No, I know you're still fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Mike can wear his M&M pants and the whole thing.
Yes, Mike is in his pajamas, but it is, almost 8 o'clock.
That's true.
He is 52.
Poor guy. But no, it's
Put it on camera?
No, it's not on camera. I got a little salute, a single finger salute, if you know what I mean.
I thought he got something up there. But no, it's been very enjoyable. I just really like hearing about the different type of things that are out there.
Well, it's been fun having you on, texting me and harassing me about posting, because it's felt good that somebody actually has been enjoying it as much as I've been enjoying it doing it.
I've learned a lot. I really
Yep.
have. So I hope you guys keep coming up and showing up and
We might go
subscribing.
back. We might go back to weekly.
Oh, okay.
I
I mean, I'm not against it.
I'm not promising anything, but yeah, I'm thinking of ways of creating different content.
Oh,
So,
okay.
as they say in the biz, content.
Content. So
Um,
we can be influencers.
maybe, yeah.
Oh,
I'd like to.
I'm all
Well,
for that.
I would like to increase my followers. I'm just going to say that out loud. Like to increase my followers.
Well, as I've said before, you need to subscribe. I know where you live.
Press the like button. Oh, he knows where you live. Oh no,
Well, maybe I don't.
you're my bouncer.
There's ways.
Do you need to like flex your arm? You need to check your time.
Oops.
Check the time.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
time is it?
That's right.
You have a scratch on your knee.
That's right. See the tattoo.
Oh, see, there you go. Don't mess with wrong people.
That's right.
Be scared. Be so scared.
That's right.
It's a big softy inside. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Just like that piece of wood.
Just that piece of wood. All crusty on the outside, but pretty on the inside.
That's right. And,
Well, I think that's all. So, until next time, I don't think I'll go next week But who knows?
Okay.
It might surprise somebody.
All right.
But I'll hold you to the 2 week. We'll see you in 2 weeks, Ron.
Definitely, I'll be here.
We'll have a little extra sewing project.
Oh, very
See?
good. You will.
See?
You will. I like that.
I like
You'll be
forcing you
surprised.
into sewing.
You will be surprised.
Maybe we can talk about your new sewing machine.
Oh, maybe. It's very possible.
I just bought a new manual for my Singer featherweight. So the featherweight doctor was trained by this man who has passed away since, and now I can't remember his name. But he used to be a Boeing tech. He was a technical drawer. I don't know if that's the right term. Mechanical drawer. So he got into featherweights and did some great drawings of where to oil and grease and take care of the machine myself. But it's a nice big manual that's spiral bound, so I can lay it out flat.
Did you have that manual?
Oh, well, it's on its way. It's been shipped.
Okay.
So next time I can talk about it. But I really want to make sure everything is working well on my Singer and start using it more often.
You should.
And then I need to get my are you familiar with sergers?
A little bit. That was something I never really got into. We had one for the business, but didn't use it that much.
I need to stop being scared of actually learning how to thread it.
Oh, there's so many. That's the problem with it. There's all kinds of
The new ones are like air threaders, so you get it to the right place and you push a button and it puffs it through.
Oh,
They're
that'd
so
be
cool.
nice,
Yes.
Yeah, that was.
But I don't have
it.
$1,500 to spend on a new serger machine when I have a perfectly good one.
Oh boy.
So I need just to break it out and start using it. These are my goals, people. Goals. So maybe I can film me struggling to
That would be a good one.
to thread it and
Have
see
a
how
drink
that
during
works.
the process. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, that one would need one
Yes.
for a serger. All right, guys.
All right.
We need to say goodbye.
See you
Thanks so
guys.
much.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming over, Ron.
No problem.
Bye.